What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 22 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Fay Enchantress Old World Classic campaign. So as we saw last time, we had begun the errantry against the Slaaneshi, defeating two of their armies, including taking on the Mask herself, and though it was a tough fight, managing to bring her down. And the main stack that was super high tier with all rank 8s and 9s, and I was looking on in jealousy, but anyway. I'd like a few of our Brigand armies to have the same sort of levels. I think the one of the early mistakes that I made was not putting paladins into the various armies that use at least some of the units of brigands that need to be upgraded, just because they would have been able to be upgraded faster. But oh well, not a big deal. Lore-wise, it does make sense not to have a paladin with them, mind you. Anyway, we left off last episode with an attack sallying out of the settlement garrison here at Grungzint, and by the looks of it, this is going to be a tough fight. Lots of calves, some monsters, black orcs and all that stuff, and obviously this army does not yet have the Erimo chasseurs. Well, actually this army is not going to use Erimo chasseurs, but it doesn't have the upgrades to the regular Erimo for the Brigand crossbows or the regular Erimo to aspirant hoods as yet. Will it eventually? I guess we'll find out if it survives. Go. Alrighty, here we go. You know, I'm starting to enjoy the sort of silent way that this army starts its fights. And I also enjoy the fact that unlike the chivalrous armies full of knights that we have in all of our other armies, we can be, sneaky and deploy in different ways with this one. So, in this particular case, we use Vanguard deployment to take up the best position here. Our crossbows started hidden in the trees and can retreat to them as needed, but otherwise we will use both the cliffside and impassable terrain to hold the line of two waylayers, who are obviously hidden, and as the boar boys and as the sampling pump wagons try to charge towards the crossbows, they will get stopped by the anti-large armor-piercing, or armor-sundering and piercing, I suppose, waylayers. Here we have our stalking, sniping Erimo and the Flesh Noir, as well as Bertrand himself, who are going to make good use of the fact that the enemy can't see them to hit the enemy in the flanks, as they are sort of diverted up to the portion of our army that they can see. And just in case the enemy does identify us, we have two more waylayers, the Proletariat and the Bretonnia People's Front, awaiting the enemy's arrival to stop them in their tracks. Anyway, the battle begins with us dishing out heavy damage to some critical targets. Two units of Black Orcs already down to half HP, and the enemy Giant already down to 45% as well. The enemy are attempting to make their way uphill towards where our crossbows are firing down upon them, but pump wagons and boar boys alike are getting torn to shreds. There is a reason crossbows are forbidden to the peasantry of Bretonnia, and the brigand crossbowmen are certainly showing off why. As two units of boar boys are now pretty much destroyed, though a goblin wolf rider unit does make its way through, I don't think it's going much further than the waylayers, who stopped them in their tracks. Beautiful. Alrighty, in the meantime, it looks like the Giant is pretty much done for. In fact, one more volley, or two more volleys. Alright, two more volleys will fell it. Like so. And obviously it can't actually see any of these units, as, well, actually the Flesh Noir is still visible, and it looks like the enemy has gotten close enough to see some of them, or perhaps it's just not showing the hidden thing, because they backed off here for a reason. And I see no other units are attempting to rush them, instead identifying some waylayers. The Black Orcs will of course charge them, but we will counter that with Flesh to Stone, buffing up their armor, but they cannot die is the more valuable thing here, as we will redirect several of the units of Erimo to fire into the flanks of the Black Orcs. Obviously several of the units will, a number of arrows, I'm sure, will hit our own unit with friendly fire, and that's what Flesh to Stone will do for us here, as the Black Orcs are rather quickly brought down to half of their HP, and I believe that was the third and final of their Black Orc units that had still reasonable amounts of HP remaining. Lovely. Both aspects or portions of the battlefield are still going well in our favor. The Waylayers still holding the enemy off while the crossbows bring down a Ragnarok spider. Enemy Lord actually does break through the Waylayers as he is looking to engage the Damsel of Life. Fortunately, we peeled away the third of the unit of Waylayers in order to surround him, and they'll keep him locked in place while our caster is ready to keep casting. Enemies' flanks are being riddled with arrow fire from our Arimo here. Still waiting to get those aspirant hoods up and running, but frankly, with the amount of XP that we are surely to rack up during these fights, I imagine we'll be getting our first units of them reasonably quick. I'm actually very interested to see how well they do. As I recall, the units are sort of similar units of 20 range units, like the SFO Witch Hunter retinue, don't generally do all that much range damage despite the high, damage dealt. I imagine due to the overkill, they're probably better targeting single entities and stuff like that, but we'll see. I'm excited to test them out rather soon. But not against these orcs, as it looks like they've given up. The enemy Lord riddled with crossbows falls, and the entire crossbow bolts falls, and the entire enemy army shatters, giving the battle to us with very few casualties by the looks of it. Some damage to be sure, but thanks to Flesh to Stone, the number of units actually killed, whether it be by the Ragnarok or the Black Orcs, remains extremely low. Lovely. Alrighty, there we go. Second Seed of Rebirth. We got one last episode as well. Perhaps perhaps all of the work, I guess, we've done for the Wood Elves is finally paying off. That's my headcanon for it. Anyway, a very nice fight that sees the enemy absolutely decimated with barely any losses on our side. I like the way that we've been sort of role play deploying this army, using more sneaky methods and all that as is appropriate, unchivalrous methods perhaps I should say, and it does work out. But on top of that, it allows the army to punch way above its weight class, which is kind of the idea here. A combination of using stock snipe woods and elevation and choke points and all that allowed us to keep the enemy back and destroy them with a good old-fashioned pincushioning. In terms of the performances, it looks like the Hooligans beat out the other Waylayers, and with 38k damage, one of the unnamed Arimo actually beats out the others by a fairly wide margin. Although at 24k, the Menontites are not too far behind. Of course, at 37k, La Flèche Noire did well as well, and in fact, let me just quickly see here. Yeah, while they did a little bit less regular damage, they did higher damage deltas gold value, which perhaps should not be surprising. Anyway, nice fight. We will, I guess, take the treasury again. I got lazy last episode, and looks like Cetra's Revenge died. Well, I mean, they were already dead. You know what I mean. You want us to join the war against Serenessa? No, you want a straight-up defensive alliance? No. No, you guys made a tremendous mistake in taking out Susurio Wood and attacking the Wood Elves there, and now we're not coming to your aid, at least not at this time. Plus, we're busy with other things. Although eventually we'll have to put the undead down. Hello. Draw weapons, scouts are... we got a small Ungor herd, but they do have a couple of Cygors and Minotaurs. Just wondering whether this is worth the fight. I once again get very irritated by the caravan system, not the mod, but the caravan system itself, like the Cathan or the Chaos Dwarf caravan system that this draws on, that it doesn't display how many turns this current caravan has left to travel, because oftentimes it would inform my decision as to whether to take a fight out or resolve a fight, back off from a fight. But how the heck am I supposed to know? What, I'm gonna remember how many turns every single caravan has left every single turn? It's insanity. Sometimes I feel like the devs don't hire a UX guy or just never play the game themselves, because this is one of those things where if you had played it even once, any faction with a caravan, you'd know what the heck, just add a counter. It can't be that difficult because the number of turns left is already displayed somewhere in the game, so I feel like programming-wise it would be the height of simplicity to include that number somewhere in this window. 3 turns left, or whatever. Anyway, draw weapons. This one I think will auto-resolve. I fear we'll take damage, but it's not worth it to fight a bunch of Ungors, and I'm just gonna hope that this caravan doesn't die because of it later on. Let's see how much damage we take. Honestly, not as bad as I thought it would be. You have reached the maximum amount of chivalry. Thank you. Well, the movement range doesn't help us here, so yeah, we'll go for ransom captives. Keep in mind also our caravans do heal while moving, so there is that as well. Ooh, what about levels? Bertrand the Brigand the Legend. Wait, I thought it was Bertrand the Brigand the Savior. Now he's a legend. Good. Those are some very nice traits. Wait, do we have the legend on the Fay Enchantress? And everybody else? There's also some really nice buffs. Oh, go figure. Bertrand the Brigand, the legend. I don't know, I just find it... I just find it kind of funny. Anyway, a legend raider from my... you are rank 10 as well. Did you just reach rank 10? I don't even remember who you are. Oh, right, you're supposed to deliver stuff. But in the meantime, Peasant's Purpose into Arcane Wisdom, and... I'm going to say Muster the Farmhands for now. We may use you for that purpose, because we already have an army with lots of battle pilgrims, and while we may make another one, it depends on how long the rest of the campaign's gonna run. Oh, actually, speaking of campaigns, grab 10th share, please. Speaking of campaign... Slanesh, again, yes? Speaking of campaigns... Ooh, Theatric ranked up to rank 10. Alright, I'm gonna click through this before... Ooh. Oh, ransoming kept. Oh, that's fine. He's not going to recruit. Yeah, I don't think the caravan is going to be doing a lot of recruiting game. Citra's Revenge destroyed, as we saw. Ostland destroyed, so I'm glad we got the agreement with them before they died. Also, this Pegasus looks really nice, and I'm going to keep that guy on the Pegasus. Anyway, Peasant's Game Perform, Clan Molder, enemy killed in battle, something something. Dragonbane Gem, ally loses outpost. There's that Seed of Rebirth. We want this on Bertrand? It's only enabled if he's in melee, so most of the time he won't get any mileage out of it. I'm going to say no for now, and hey, the Iron Warden's tankard. We get another form of healing, not for you, obviously, but I guess wheresoever we did make that delivery got us this. Oh, was that this caravan that just fought that completed its thing? Wait, Royal Pegasus for Armand Decaten. You... I wish I remembered... whether we want you on the Pegasus. What kind of... You're the knight guy, right? I mean, you're one of the knight... in a way, they're all knight guys, or at least most of them are knight guys. Maybe not full cap, or at least not to the same degree. I genuinely don't remember what I was going to do with Aquitaine. Your Pegasus looks normal compared to... or normal-ish compared to the Barded Warhorse. I like the Barded Warhorse more, it looks fancier for you. We'll see what he looks like on a Hippogriff as well. This is going to be the last of the Dukes that we will... Immunity to contact affects an area? Oh, that's very nice. I wish the Quenelle guy had this because, well, we're going to make the companions and then be a very tiny sort of... number of units on field at once, but anyway, Valet is always nice. Iron Warden's tankard, ready for duty. Hagen de Gisora, good. We've got technology researched, unite with the Fay, and our chivalry remains maxed out. Mission failed, errantry against Dark Elves. One of them failed, but we got more coming. Caravan completed, Guillaume d'Outremer, and a couple of Slayers, as well as that Iron Warden's tankard. Judging by this, I assume that they had reached, Was Carcassonne an actual option? Did you go to Carcassonne? I don't know. Another Grail Shield. Alright, well, we'll be taking on Slanesh, so that'll be a nice item. Alright, Caravans, real quick. Actually, no, real quick. I interrupted myself like 16 times. Now, since I have a few seconds, the vote for the next campaign, not the vote for the faction, but the vote for the Legendary Lord is now up for the, in the posts tab of the channel. So if you're interested in any of the 3 particular High Elves that are currently up in the vote, do cast your votes. Anyway, yeah, that's what I had to interrupt myself 16,000 times for. We have... You're returning to capital. You're rank 8, which is good because it will allow you to go into hidden stores and max out wayfinders. There we go.
It was only a matter of time.
It was only a matter of time. Alright, this caravan will have to keep traveling through dwarven territories. What do we have here? Jordan, you're the Wood Elf caravan. I mean, technically speaking, if you wanted to pick up some High Elf units, I wouldn't be mad about it, but... we could travel to the South Bank, but the reaching South Bank would give us Imperial troops. And I'm kind of into the whole, this army has a ton of Wood Elves. Plus, it is now effectively completely safe to travel through these territories. Minus the fact that, the South Bank we get 3,000, but I guess we've been here recently, and thusly it's not getting anywhere near the same kind of cash. What about you? I want to see the Southern Realm. So Myrmidons has 2,000. I think we've been to Bergerac, but I'm not entirely sure. You probably want to keep going through the Southern Realms, though. And so, Bergerac is a decent option for the next Dwarfen caravan. Where is Esteban going? He is going to Erengrad for more Kislevite units, okay. And admittedly, Jordan has... Wait a second. Okay, no, he doesn't have... we'll wait for him until we can get another caravan going into the Wood Elf territories that doesn't... Wait a second. Margarita wasn't open before, and I think Remos wasn't open before either. Huh. Right? I'm not crazy, right? So the caravan system here does unlock new territories as they are conquered by stuff? You know what, we could send the Wood Elf guy to Torlithanel. You know, let's do that. You, sir. You're the Wood Elf guy, you're going to Torlithanel. I would like you to increase the cost. I would also, however, like you to lose these 2 men-at-arms with shields because they're weaker than their everything. And they're also the non-SFO units, and you're going to dispatch to Torlithanel, sir. Huh? Wait, oh. It reset the amount that we're getting. Though I do like the amount in Erengrad as well, but anyway. Like so. Lovely. Alright, now, let's pick a tech. Ooh! In the meantime, Fay Enchantress has reached rank 50. I didn't even see that. I wonder who's down here. Is it Moors? Which Skaven are here? There is still Eshin... Huh, where are you going now?
No.
This is actually curious. What is he doing? Could it be that his final territory is actually on Albion and not near to us? Interesting. And, I'm still so salty that the mask managed to run away in the way that she did. Are you able to reach? Yes, you are able to reach. That's nice. That's real nice. You know what? You try to block... Nope, that's not happening. Damn it. Alright, go Steel Tech and keep an eye on everything that's over here. Everything's Slaneshally corrupted as well, but... we've countered it pretty handily, so it doesn't matter much. Hey, success, good job. Let's take a tech. I mean, since we're maxed out on Chivalry, we might as well do the Chivalry techs and go for Millennia of Service. The Corruption Reduction is actually going to help us in the Conquest. There are a few other things that I would like in here. We're 2 turns away from another Green Knight tech as well. Gotta remember that the Green Knight will be gone soon. Oh, and I guess the Professional Fletcher has also really helped us in the fight that we just did. And again, there's some real good stuff, but I would like to get our capstone, so let's go for Millennia of Service. Although, admittedly, this only does take 1 turn. As does a lot of this stuff. 400 base research cost, so maybe we should do some of the higher research cost stuff again. In order to make it more efficient. I do like the campaign movement range increase. Admittedly, it's an own territory, but we are traveling through our own territory for a while. Let's start with Fair Bretonnia, partly because of the memes, and partly because the character XP gain is actually quite valuable, especially as the Fay Enchantress will now be transferring all her bonus XP or extra XP to other lords. Anyway, speaking of the Fay Enchantress, before I distract myself 80,000 times again, Munzig is not, in fact, defended. Meaning we are free to take it, and potentially... Oh, these guys took the dove down. I was actually hoping that Karazakarak would have taken it. Go figure. I don't really want to treat with these guys just because they hate us so much, but I guess we have no choice in doing so. Anyway, we'll do this. Eleanor... going to Munzig. Like so.
Not in this world.
Yes, in this world. Then encircle. Then we will have the Fay Enchantress reinforce, and then we'll move her up to Carrick Dromar into Grenstad afterwards, and start retaking the Empire. Probably not going to keep Imperial territories, admittedly. And go this way. I don't think we'll be able to reach Carrick Dromar with you, but we might be able to with the Fay Enchantress, reinforcing, take both of them next turn. I don't really care about the rats here, especially since the dwarfs here, the Karazakarak actually doesn't hate us anymore. How angry would they be? How angry would the Wood Elves be if we allied with them? Actually, not super far from it. If we declared war on Clan Gnaw and Ironclaw Mutinous Boys, for example, join war, and gotten the military access, we could do a defensive alliance by paying them 8k, which admittedly is still way more than I'd like, but isn't horrific. Is this Clan Gnaw? Which clan? No, wait, this is Clan Ricket or Fester? Then where is Clan Gnaw? Oh, maybe this is Clan Gnaw. No, I don't want to deal with that. And we could always just trade the Munsig for it, though. Though I hate how it would be counted as a gift. Anyway, let's auto-resolve this in Potion of Healing. What the heck? Now we're getting a million billion frickin' healing items that we haven't had throughout the entire game. Now? Oh, game. Why you do this? Anyway, you, Fay Enchantress, is gonna go up here to Dock of Doom. If there's rats at a Karak Dromar and want to sally out and ambush us, more power to them, I suppose. Anyway, Fay Enchantress, since you've reached rank 50, let's get you stand your ground. Well, haven't completely decided whether we're keeping the Holy Hand Grenade and the Farquads, but they've been in our army for so long, I feel it would be wrong to remove them, so let's keep them there. Next up, we want the ability to cast pretty much everything. With only 11 points, though, I would like Lionhearted. We'll ignore Virtue of Empathy. Though lore-wise, obviously, it wouldn't be too bad. And we may actually have to ignore Lowborn Militia if we want Comet of Cassandora and Chain Lightning, though it's great time negation that I want more for the cooldown reductions. Alright, well, we'll go Flesh to Stone, Wind Blast, Roiling Skies, always nice to have a second passive. Urnon's Thunderbolt, Comet of Cassandora, Chain Lightning into Great Time Negation, leaving us 3 points. So we could, in theory, either upgrade our artillery pieces with Engines of War, or Lowborn Militia to slightly upgrade our peasant mobs, or invest into those spells that we cast a lot, which is Earthblood, and of these, probably Curse of the Midnight Wind. Making both of them cheaper would be quite the boon. Probably more so than a little bit of extra melee defense for the peasantry here. Especially since they have nothing to lose. And this isn't really an army that's reliant on the artillery pieces. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna go for Earthblood and Curse of the Midnight Wind and probably Regrowth. We do occasionally cast the Dwellers Below in this army as well, but probably more rarely so than Regrowth. There we go. And with that, we're good. Yeah, Fay Enchantress is really point hungry. Between having 2 lures as well as a unique line, she barely has any other points to play with. How's everybody else in this army, by the way? The Green Knight's the one that really matters. He's got 3 points. That's what I like to see. We were going towards Peasant Rumors and Vows of Fealty for the reductions, and actually out of curiosity, we're at 34747. Let us get... These are kind of terrible. Fealty, we're up to, what was it, 34747? Yeah, a little over 2,000 gold per turn. That's worth the point, I think. And for the 12 or so turns that we have remaining, I like it. Let's go for Peasant Rumors next. 20% reload time for trebuchets is real good. We have the Battle Pilgrims. We have nothing that buffs peasant mobs, huh? Just the basic infantry recruitment. This probably touches the most units, so I'm going to go for the eye. And interestingly, it includes Brigand Waylayers and the Brigands with axes, meaning the value further increases. Alright, so let's do that. And the rest of these guys will want to level eventually, but it's not the most critical thing in the world right now. Bertrand, you're next, buddy. Now let's take Grungzint. These guys will be left with 1 territory. We'll auto-resolve this and hope that it does not damage us too severely. We're looking okay. Goodbye. Lovely. Enemy killed in battle, another Hedge Wizard, a Terrifying Mask of E, and you still have 1 more turn until we get that, second Eagle for Cassandora de Caravans, and max out his army, totally a knight. Alrighty. So we want to potentially go this way, but we also want to potentially protect anybody from Gruk. You know what? We're max chivalry, so we're probably free to go into ambush stance, move here, and then... Yeah, let's do this. We'll try to help these guys out. Well, so we will want to wait for the caravan to pass by the Corsairs of Spite, potentially. Oh, and I've been waiting for an alliance with the frickin' Wood Elves of Lorelorn, but they're being jerk faces and not wanting to, so we'll want to deal with that at some point as well. Anyway, Bertrand, real quick, what do we have here? Bretonnia People's Front, the Proletariat, La Bouhée, and the Hooligans. Okay, so you're effectively maxed out in terms of your names. I think we had some guy traveling with a bunch of axemen, yes? That's you. Yeah. We have Brigand Kriegs, the Unbroken Axes, and let's name a few more then. You can be Les Pieds Nickelés, like so, and then you can be the Gravediggers, presumably because I thought they looked like shovels. Anyway, you're supposed to deliver them to Monsieur d'Artois, so I'll go out here. And you two are supposed to... Wait, which one of you has booze cravings? I have booze cravings. Anyway, you're supposed to go to Alberic. And we'll maybe do another... if we do a seagoing army as... Oh no, what is this? Are you going to be able to defend San Luis? Yeah, I think you are. You're fine.
Your coming was foretold.
Let's build a couple more of these while we're at it. Order of Loremasters, Oceanids, beautiful. Alright, 4 Oceanids for Alberic. Speaking of Alberic, you... can we have you land at Mallox there? Oh, wait, you're holding... I was about to say Alberic's artillery pieces. They're not technically his, though. In the sense that he's not going to keep them. But anyway, the nice thing about Alberic is he can attack at sea. Mallox Lair is tier 4, so we could sack it and retain all of our movement range if we really wanted to. Wait, huh? Why are you trying to land? Isn't Alberic's one of his abilities that he can besiege or attack at sea? Stop trying to land, dude.
With the tide's favor.
Really? Oh, okay, now, really? Game. Why? Why are you like this? Maintain blockade.
Against the code.
Then you. I would like you to land and reinforce. We should have allowed you to keep the artillery pieces after all, but whatever. Alrighty, and is this worthy of a fight? Well, the AI doesn't think so, as it attempts to back off. Can you chase us down? You can. It's funny. What do we have here? It's a Pyrrhic victory, but admittedly, it's not a very elite force. Frankly, I'm kind of inclined to auto-resolve it. Let me think about this. We'll see if we have better fights available to us this turn. In which case, we will fight this. Oh, actually, speaking of, we do have a better fight available this turn. A Wa plus an army for the ranged army. And these guys need their levels, and we need to be rank, I want to say, 6 in order to upgrade to Pegasus Knights? 7. Oh, okay, these guys need to get to work.
Fortune favors
Yeah, we're up to 273 range on the men-at-arms with longbows. Longbows living up to their name, and keep in mind they don't yet have the Guided by the Lady, which gives them another 10% range. I like it. Alright, we'll do this fight. And this is not auto-resolvable, I imagine. What do we want to get here? Regrowth. Well, let's get Earthing because you do miscast on occasion. The Enchanting Beauty and stuff does not really help in this particular army. We could go through all the way to Potent. But I think maybe we're better off getting some more spells, as they will be more useful in this army. And frankly, the Dwellers Below is more used in this army than in others, but not Overcast, because in this army, it's used to slow enemies down, and frankly, the same can be said of the Awakening of the Wood. Anyway, you, Friar, will need to level. Let's get your retinue physician. And I guess we can start getting other points now. I guess we should move towards Benediction. The leadership doesn't matter over much in a range-focused army, but may as well move through it. Retinue Quartermaster may not be a bad idea either. Anyway, go after Gosbag here. Also, it looks like these guys took Putrid Stump. That's fine. Let them have it. Alright, what do we have here? Surprisingly, close victory and low casualties. Oh, they're in March stance. Nonetheless, I think it'll be a more interesting fight than the other one. You grab this Standard of Discipline on the Friar. Like, he doesn't really need the additional leadership, does he? But nonetheless, go. Alrighty, for the king, perhaps. Maybe a little bit more so for the Fay Enchantress in this particular campaign, as the king ain't doing so well. Anyway, here we go. This is our sort of mixed ranged army with lots of the peasant bowmen, longbow and pox arrows alike, and 4 artillery pieces, 2 blessed field trebs and 2 regular trebs, just for, just for fun, basically. even if the regular trebs are inferior in concept. Anyway, the enemy has to travel a long way to get to our units, so good luck to them, especially as we've taken up position on a hill. The enemy does have a fair few boar boys, however, and that's what we're going to send our Knights of the Realm to deal with as they hit the enemy's right flank, allowing the enemy's center, or left flank rather, as we allow the enemy's center and right flank to move towards us and get riddled with arrows for their trouble. Like in the case of this poor old colossal squig, which loses about half of its HP to arrow fire, and I'm sure many a unit of orc boys of various kinds losing similar HP to trebuchets. Lovely. In addition, we engage the enemy air, such as it is the Feral Wyvern, with our specialist anti-large Knights of the Algorithm here, who are really quite good at this sort of thing, and are able to defeat the Wyvern extremely quickly. Being anti-large specialists, they're also able to do that faster than a unit of Hippogriffs would. And then they can move to try to surround the enemy lord or help the Knights of the Realm down below, as we still need to knock out those boar boys to prevent them from potentially charging our peasant units. Our lord chases down the shattered wyvern, makes sure that it's gone, as obviously she's a caster, she doesn't need to join the fight on the ground. But it does look like our knights are, manhandling the enemy pretty well here. Lovely. Of course, the enemy's walk has arrived, though any unit that draws into range of the peasant bows is not having a good time at all. Our peasants are now at, 273 range. Pretty darn solid by the looks of it. What's our reload at, incidentally? 6.8. It's not bad. But it could still rise higher. If we really wanted to, we could place a Faceless in this army to increase their reload rates. I will think about it. Although I don't think this army is going to be enough to really threaten them. And there we go. Pox arrows obviously not going to do nearly as much damage, almost half as much damage as the men at arms of longbows, but they're here to slow the enemy down, which is a fairly decent bit of value, especially with things like boar boys attempting to get towards us. There we go, and with both trebuchet fire and arrow fire coming down upon the enemy, their flanks having been annihilated at this point by our cavalry, and our least experienced unit of Knights of the Realm will do a few charges through the enemy lines to disrupt their formation, further prevent them from moving in towards our range units. I love those orcs flying around all over the place. And of course to rack up as much XP as possible. Gotta love all that fancy barding that these guys all have. Anyway, Knights of the Realm are doing a pretty good job here, and it looks like that last charge of the Star Chasers through the enemy's center line has forced them to shatter, giving the battle to us long before they reached any of our units. Lovely. Yes, another banner of swiftness at long suffering last. That will go to the Fay Enchantress's army. Otherwise, Meline Dutremaire and her, by and large, ranged army did very well, with us racking up nearly 1,000 kills on the Star Chasers here, beating out the launching lancers and the unnamed Knights of the Realm, just by virtue of the fact that these guys, the Star Chasers, were lower level than the other two, so we sent them around to bounce between the various different infantry, thus racking up a ton of kills, while these two used their anti-large for cavalry dominance and destroyed the enemy orc boar boys instead, keeping the peasants safe by virtue of, not allowing them to charge. Speaking of the peasants, solid damage everywhere around by the looks of it. I don't think we actually have some named ones. We got the Peasant Union in here. And the Overshooters, which did not overshoot, I guess. Or maybe they did, I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention to the peasants. Anyway, we will execute the captives as we tend to do. Lovely, and then we will lose the Banner of Swiftness in this army. And immediately give it to the Fay Enchantress, who's been waiting for that for 50-ish turns? We got the first one relatively early, and then we've been waiting for another one for a while. Oh, what do we lose, though? I guess the Pit Fighter. We're not losing the valet, and I like the razor standards on the on Morgiana's Merrymen. Resistance is feudal here because they guard the flanks, and the flanks are always more dangerous. Also, those stats are looking pretty good now. Alrighty, anyway, yeah, lose the pit fighter, gain the banner of swiftness. Beautiful. And I still don't really have a place for the Eldred's Casket of Sorcery. I just don't like it. It's kind of like the Wormslayer thing that has too strong of a melee defense buff. This thing causing the Winds of Magic in this province will be set to the lowest level thing is kind of an issue for those characters that don't have a massive amount of Winds generation to counteract it. Although, funnily enough, a moment. If this army is to have 3 +1 damsels, each one would have magical reserves. So we'd have a +1 and a +2. So each one would give us +3, so it would be +3 +3. You wouldn't have it. This is just capacity. Oh, do you have nothing that will increase your... Oh, you have a +1, which will be at exactly 10, because we'll be +9, or +3, +3, and then if another one +3, so +9, +1, 10, meaning with the max at -10, this army should actually be fine. Ah, okay, so as soon as those guys level, we can give them the Eldred's Casket of Sorcery. I see Lukir Felhart's in March Stance as well, and just in range of Jolene, I think he's done for. We'll just auto-resolve him though, because yeah, this is probably not worth it. Well, we'll see what the auto-resolve says. Anyway, Matahari, you can keep stealing tech. Let's move past Montana and then move to Lequeno after. Good, an actual success. Almost shocked. You. I have the 1 point available to you. We have Worshippers of the Grail, which is the main thing. We're gonna grab basic training though, because, well, vigor loss reduction is always very nice. And the Battle Pilgrims don't have perfect vigor. Do we need to level any of you guys? You're rank 9. You do have Shield of Faith, okay, so we'll definitely want that. The rest of these things can wait though. You can grab Shield of Faith. And you have 1 point short of healer, so we're saving your points, except for Soulfire. What about you two? Rank 16, and oh, it'll be a while going for Arcane Conduit if we're going through Enchanting Beauty first, but I guess we are, so let's lean into it. And we will need another one of these, so let's get you on field. Or get you on field. Or of the Lady, Shield of Combat, Harmonic Convergence into Roiling Skies and into Curse of the Midnight Wind. Did I put more than 2 points in here? No, I put all 3 in there because I really like the spell and I really enjoy watching those units fight. Evasion's a decent choice, and did I not max out Replenish Troops with you? I did. Well then. Alright, well we'll grab Evasion for you. We already have a basic version of... Actually, we don't. I was about to say basic version of Urnon's, but nonetheless we're going for Enchanting Beauty and Soft Spot for small folks, so... Hit points versus Missile and Spell Resistance. Honestly, the hit points isn't actually worth all that much because your hit points are low in the first place. Also, did I put you on the Barded Warhorse? Yes, as opposed to the Unicorn, which gives you stock, but you're trying to stay in the fight, therefore probably not as valuable. I guess I'll go with Aerial Shield. A decent likelihood we get both eventually anyway. Leo Armistead is going to get stuff as well. Let's max out Highwaymen, regardless of anything else, and then Latu Faceless. We've got Scavenge Weapons, most definitely. Target Practice not useful in this army, unfortunately. We should probably move towards We Are the Elite and Esteemed Combatant both, but let me just see here. I don't actually care about the personal damage of these guys, but oh, wait. Will target practice... It says all missile units. Does that actually impact you guys? Actually, let's see. Doesn't seem to. 350 remains at 350. Meaning we're better off getting Outlaw Starcaster Arrow. Oh, man. Scavenge Weapons, my bad. You already have Scavenge Weapons. Outlaw Starcaster Arrow. There we go. And the Paladin. Mostly here for training. Trying to get to that Retinue Trainer as well. Let's get you We Are the Elite, sir. Alrighty, then. You two together. We have the, I was about to say, we have the anti-Slaneshi corruption, but it's not actually necessary here, so we're fine. You will reinforce, go right here. You can stay in channeling. I'm assuming that you're in range here. I'm also assuming that you will not
You honor
interrupt Jolene and she'll be able to close the distance.
What would you have of me?
My magic is yours.
Yes, alright. Before we
have
do
met
that, I
before.
would like to check the damsels, specifically the... I got another boost cravings one. Useful. Hey, another virtue of the ideal. Ooh, wait. Okay, we gotta summon you. I know it's stupidly, insanely expensive, but it is what it is. We need every virtue of the ideal we can get. That's a son of Bretonnia.
Spellcaster.
And what do we have for paladins? Virtue of heroism, terrible. Don't care about these. I want auras. Sanctified. Oh, I did want somebody with sanctified, but I no longer remember which charm. Oh, actually, I do. I wanted you in Lea Armisted's army. Yes. Alright, that will work. Let's go sanctified. I want that guardian. Oh, it actually... It won't work in this army, will it? Because this does not apply. Yeah. It won't apply to these guys. Oh, alright, fine. We'll have to go for another one, and then what do we have here? We have Shrouded in Mist. Slippery is fine for a fighty sort of mage. What do we have in the other ones? I think we have the Vigor Loss reduction for one, and then
your
the Guardian
behest?
for the other, no? Yeah, you have Sanctified, so Guardian, and then you have Rejuvenator, so Vigor Loss reduction, which, as I said, these guys could really use. I guess we wait, then. On the damsels, at the very least. I do like the Favored by the Lady, and Empathic is not bad as well for certain armies. But we'll see. I'll deal with that between the episodes, I think. Alrighty, so I guess we're going after Mr. Loki here. Here we go. And we should also do building, because I didn't do it last turn / episode, so we should really do it now. You. Yeah, it's a decisive victory, it's low casualties, it's a half stack, and they're damaged. I know it's Loki, but we'll see him again because, well, his faction is nowhere near to being destroyed. Grant a command. Useless. Alrighty. And immune to storm. Oh! You get 25% missile resistance from Loki as well. Oh, darn. Well, like I said, we'll see him again because he has a lot of territory. We gotta try to make sure that we defeat him with Alberic, which actually does make sense as well. So, Crown of Command is fine. You are not able to reach Mount Zardel. Oh, what if you go into Crusade stance? You can just go here. What about you? One is blocking the other, not letting you heal. That is so rude. Alright, I guess you're gonna channel. At least you can heal up to full. And you've leveled again, but we'll deal with it later. For obvious reasons. Alright, René Degnaud. You and Luan Diderot. Wait, you're the one that's getting the...
I see much.
Fortune favors you.
I'm wondering... We should probably have some Bretonnian peasantry... Ooh. Yeah, wait, this will put us up to... Assuming that this army stays as it is, or switches lords, but it doesn't matter. This will put us up to 11 units. We'll need infantry to support the war wagons. And I'm guessing that we should probably go for the peasant infantry here. Maybe polearms and spears at the front to make use of their shields, but it's probably the anti-large that we'll be wanting more than anything else with the caravan. So assuming that we get 6 of those, we'll have 3 points remaining, and maybe we can use some outriders and or scouts, so that would be Erimaux. Erimaux Chasseur in particular. Oh, also before I forget. You. Leon Lebel, I would like you to go into encamp stance and start moving towards at least close to Silostra. But we should probably pick up a few more territories on the way, because once again, we don't want these idiots picking them up. We will deal with the transfer ourselves. Then you will be used, sir. But not right now. We will replace you with Hagen de Gisoro. If I can find him in here. Here he is. There we go. And he's reached rank 10, but he needs to be rank 12. Inspiring presence nonetheless, and we will want Glorfiniel's progeny because he's using all knightly units. And we'll grab basic training. We don't need aspiring knights in this army because there will be no squires. And we'll grab Root Marcher. We'll save the rest of the points for his unique line, as there will be a lot of knightly buffs there. Good. Alrighty, and he actually does want another paladin with zealous attack, or bolstered attack rather. But that'll be a bit. And oh, you're also going to want some Sons of Bretonnia to ride with the knights. I think, rather than a damsel. So 18 out of 20 for a couple of paladins, and then 20 out of 20 for a couple of Sons of Bretonnia. We'll max out the army. I like it. We just need to be able to spend the ridiculous sums of money in order to get those on-field. Anyway, let's do building now. Gulf of Pearls. The Sacred Pool was the thing I wanted to build here, but at the same time, I don't think we really need the growth increase anywhere anymore. Maybe we just go for the Grail Chapel instead. It doesn't give us any money here, but nothing else I think that we can build here does anyway. Not even a small amount. Admittedly, the apothecaries at least do us medicinal plants, but not a big enough deal, I think. This at least gives us a couple of additional capacities. I don't really care about the chivalry thing, but otherwise, let's go for the Grail Shrine. And just so I don't have to look at that every turn. Summersfall Fort. Alright, so we will want to upgrade the Cathedral of the Lady eventually, but it isn't critical right now. You want to get, potentially, you know what? We should probably build another of these cut purse camps here. I want one at least close to our capital. Though admittedly, we could simply remove the, Grand Landed Estate if we really wanted to. Now, I am nonetheless going to build a cut purse camp here. I want to be able to build a Mo close by, and we'll wait on anything else. Bruce should get the upgrade to the next tier, and we should upgrade the Chapel of the Lady, even though it has become expensive now. 10k, I don't think I want to spend that right now. This is 5k, it's a lot more manageable, I think. Yeah, same with you. I'd like to upgrade you, but 10k is steep, man. It's real steep. There we go. There's a Arimo hideout / cut purse camp here to be built. You can go up to the next tier. Wait, where's this? Heldegrad. Do we want to build this thing? I mean, yeah, it'll probably... The savings from the adjacency bonus will probably give us enough value to warrant building it. Let's build another cut purse camp here. We need more faceless, because you want them in every single army with the... You know what? I think the Carpenter's Workshop... Oh, well, I was planning to delete it after getting the Duchy Capital, but it'll be a while before we have 18k to spare, let's face it. Quinnell. Alright, the newly transferred territory. Still salty at those dwarfs, but at least they let it go at long last. And then we'll go for Orchard, we'll go for City. Oh, lovely. Down to 56k. Keep building... I mean, the tavern isn't critical here. Maybe we'll wait until it's free. I'll think about it. We'll see how much money we have remaining at the end of all this. But we nonetheless will want the farms, and we should start... Wait, where is Borga? Yeah, we can confer the adjacency bonus. And then here you can go Shrine of the Lady. Here you can go for the fields. Caravans. Definitely upgrade the water wheel. Definitely upgrade the Royal Barracks of Valor. It's up to 57? Was it always 57? Or did it climb? I don't know. What about any troops who are missing in Castle Caravans? I want this place to be able to build everything. We have the Cutpurse camp coming along nicely. We don't have the artillery thing. Nor do we have... Oh, we have the water wheel, but we don't have the farm. Let's build the farm. Alrighty. Bilbali, yes to your upgrade, and definitely to the trade goods. We'll also want to check friendly... factions for potential trade. Town for Castle Drakenfell, so it's a yellow territory, so it doesn't matter over much. I don't know whether we're keeping the mountains or these mountains here. I might give it to some dwarven factions for some stuff. First of all, I want Elemento because this bothers me, and this would be a decent way to acquire it. Then we could give them another one of these for Vidavdan, though the Wood Elves would probably be pissed about the whole thing. I'll think about it. In light of that, either way, we will not upgrade those. Same thing for the South Grey Mountains, though that's going to go to Wood Elves. Carrick Kafrkamaz. 5k. Alright, fine. We'll upgrade you. Not happy about it, but it is what it is. Again, it's a yellow territory, so not that big of a deal. Morton's home we're keeping, so landed estate, please, for our skills. Yes to the water wheel. We can, I think, hold off on the... just put the tavern, whatever. 2,000 gold or not. Brasov and Moslak. We probably are keeping you. If this is the edge of our territory, we may want to actually keep these places fortified in theory. If this is the actual edge of our territory. Meaning we'll do this for now. We'll get rid of the Barracks of... well, actually, you know what? Keep the Barracks of Valor just by virtue... just to act as additional troops. Grungzint. Could give it to... well, we could keep it ourselves. I'll think about it. Don't get anything here, though. In fact, don't collect the income as it's not worth our time. And same with Duranga. Though we will upgrade you. Lovely. What do we have here? Neverland Pass, Fort Bergerac, Castle Sanglak. None of those are useful to us. Pina Wood will be traded to Wood Elves. Let's grow it a little bit first. I haven't decided which Wood Elves to give that to. Lahe and Wesin, you are what? Oh, you're in Artois. We're probably going to give Artois back to Kuhan, so we'll just keep you as you are. Let them build it up. Although, build this for the medicinal plants, at least for now, so we get some value out of it. Oak of Prophecy, you're fine. Martel. Most likely to be given to our allies, the Sigmar in Sigmarsheim, but we'll want to upgrade it so that it's worth more for when we trade it, as we'd probably want to get Barfleur. What about Kypros? I don't know if we're keeping Kypros. We may or we may not. Now that these guys have taken Matork out, there's a decent likelihood. Lyonesse, we are keeping you because we have Rapunce and... well, actually, we have both the Duke and Duchess. Alicoras, you... probably will be given away, depending on how Aranes's war against these guys goes. Alrighty, there we go. Decent little bit of work. Now, let's get back to moving through everybody. So, Rene, Degnaud, and Luan. I would like you guys to hunt down and destroy what remains of these guys before heading to Matorka. And then booking it all the way to Somyak after that. Also thieving damsel before I forgot steel. Ooh. Chance is not that high. What about if we go all the way to Matorka? Still 55, but at least swap out. We'll also have to send one of you southward to make sure that we knock these guys out. And we're most likely going to have to move somebody to help. Seems like Wurzag has defeated Teclis's main fort. No, actually, he's still there. But he probably will. Everybody needs help. Alrighty, fair enough. Luan, go here. Gonna have you attack because you've got Gotrek and Felix with you. And while I resolve this, this will probably hurt a little bit, but that's life. Huh, really? Really, the Paladin? Wait, why did the Paladin get hurt? We put him on foot. He's now the slowest unit in this army by a huge margin. Godric's reasonably quick, and so are the Ogres. I did put him on foot, right? Why would he get more hurt? What? It doesn't make sense. Unless the AI is now considering him as the only infantry unit. Hopefully the auto-resolve doesn't... Okay, we'll see later on. Take the money. Alrighty, then, Scarecrow Banner, probably not for you. Has to go into armies that actually have either lots of range units or flyers. Though, not a terrible option against, or in a caravan army. Lose these because they're garbage and we'll turn them into something better. You. Now proceed down here. You will now attack as Gog. And we'll resolve this again. Let's see what the Paladin looks like after this. Yeah, he's getting hurt again. Holy Icon. So just out of curiosity, okay, lose the Holy Icon, I don't care for it. We can get another Trickster Shard out of it, and Potion of Farsight. Oh, I'm so glad that we got that tech that gives us so many more items. Yeah. So now he's taking a lot of damage. I wonder if we put him in this army temporarily, whether that will then change. But he is giving bonus XP to everybody here. So I don't know. Either way, I'll have you attack Matorka, which was just sacked, so it should be still fairly damaged. And then... Still gonna say... You know what? Do this. Go here, and just for this turn... Oh, funnily enough, we could grab these for the caravan. They don't have the additional armor, but we could always replace them later on. Grail relic in a caravan. I don't think the remnants of a... I don't think the remnants of a Grail Knight should probably leave Bretonnia lands. Anyway, let's do this, and I just want to see if this has an impact on the Paladin's HP. So he's about 20% HP now. If we do this... Nope, he loses all of his HP still. Okay, I guess the game doesn't like Paladins on foot. We'll try it again once the army's maxed out, but I think for now, then, we'll put him on the Pegasus. Funnily enough, it's completely the reverse of what would happen in an actual fight, because, well, obviously the Paladin would be, when used by the AI, moving in first. Whereas when used by the player,
We have met before.
I said moving in first when he's on a Pegasus, but not so much on foot. Put you on a Pegasus for now. Oh, yeah, put you on a Barded Warhorse for now. I don't know if that makes it any better for you, but we'll, I guess we'll see. Alrighty, and then move slightly over here in Channel. You two are going to have to meet up with those Xiang here. Get those extra units.
What is your
Alright,
best?
that looks good. Who do we have next? Franciscus Demi, you have a fight, buddy. A fight against the Dark Elves. So let's level you, and then let's get on into it. Ooh. Need to level anybody? No. And what about this?
Alberic, the border.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna auto-resolve this one. I mean, yeah, it's a siege, but we could sit there waiting for the field trebuchets to knock them out, and I think it's not... Contrary to the fact that it says it's a Pyrrhic victory, we know that the AI is garbage in sieges, and we just use the men-at-arms and longbows and the artillery to dish out most of the damage. Plus, Alberic doesn't have his real army yet, and I'm much more invested in watching him fight when he has his proper force, because right now it doesn't really differ from any of his other armies. Any of our other armies, I should say. Hey, Savior for Camille. Rampager Standard, not for you, but a good thing to have. And we will keep this place, a realm of chivalry. I guess the question is whether we want to make it a military hub. A single settlement military hub to potentially build armies at sea. I don't know, I'll think about it. We already have the smithy here. Yeah. Anyway, Alberic, you cannot move. You can get the officer's cabin. I think we'll want to build it right now. A, because he's sitting still, and B, because we have maxed out chivalry. And actually have a little bit of gold to spare. You, kill this.
For Bretonnia.
Thank you. Free potion of speed, and I believe this faction is done for, yes? Yes. Lovely. And no potion of speed for you, hopefully for somebody else. A brass cleaver, nice find, and an errantry ends as well. Are you able to go into crusade stance and then go out to sea? Because that'll either heal you, yeah, it'll keep you healing. Good. Alrighty. Happy with the rest of that. Then we just have to push our way down here and meet up with Franciscus, and then Alberic will have his force. Lovely. Chilfoy. I don't remember who was going to go into your army. I think it was a cunning guy, so it's a you, and not you, who is a fleet-footed guy. Probably going to go to another army. Franciscus, actually, depending. We could put a second friar into your army once we trade a bunch of these guys. I think that's the way we'll do it. Alrighty, either way, it doesn't change that. We will attack Yandis here. So, let's level up and let's fight.
Protector of the weak.
I'm gonna say, let's get the emergency flesh to stone. Ooh, I would like another point in Earthblood, though. I usually spam it non-overcast because you can cast it more times, therefore you can get more mileage out of your life bloom. Right, new quartermaster, please. Certainly needed in these corrupted Slaneshi territories. You can keep going through Headlong Valor. Get yourself even more fighty. Alright. Dark Elves. It's Dark Elving time. And looks to be not too much of a problem here. I'll give this to one of the knights. These guys still will be needing to level up. And these guys have the bonus armor, right? I actually don't remember whether this was bonus armor from being constructed. Weren't they? Didn't these ones start at Knights Errant? This doesn't really matter over much. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Ooh, and one of the reasons I really enjoy fighting in Empire territories is that you tend to get a lot of these sort of lighting similar to this, and it makes for some great fights or some great shots within the fights. Anyway, this has been kind of a win at range sort of day between Bertrand and our ranged army here, but we still have 3 trebuchets in this army as well, and they're going to do plenty of work. But the knights are certainly they going to do plenty of work on their own. We're going to start the day off with our stalking Lord and Royal Hippogriff Knights moving to engage the enemy Cold One Knights and Doomfire Warlocks, which attempt to book it on out of there extremely quickly as they are rather fragile. So do the Cold One Knights, but they smash into our Knights of the Realm for a little night-on-night action. That's what I like to see, and then we will rear charge them real quick with the Royal Hippogriff Knights to see them off as quickly as possible. Though the Round Table Knights will get hit with a Doom Bolt from the Doomfire Warlocks, which knocks out 8 of their number and does a solid 25 to 30% of their HP and damage. And good for them. Otherwise, however, the Knights of the Realm are carrying the day against the enemy Cold One Knights by a surprisingly huge margin. Look at that. Huh. Well, I guess the AI most likely doesn't have too many buffs for them redline-wise or otherwise, because the Knights of the Realm took, what, 5% damage to take out a full unit of Cold One Knights? Pretty darn good. And a Cold One as a mount is a much stronger mount than a horse is because, well, Cold Ones eat horses, so go figure. And obviously the elves would have better reflexes and experience on the battlefield, so it is surprising that they got decimated so horribly. But again, our knights are buffed pretty well at this point. And speaking of the knights, they are now, with the enemy cavalry destroyed, free to tear through the enemy's ranks. Dark shards and shades alike will grow silent as their crossbows are trampled and crushed beneath the hooves of the charging war forces. The enemy's Medusa, now surrounded by the companions of Cornell, as well as our Royal Hippogriff Knights, take said Medusa out reasonably quickly and prevent her silence causing disruption from affecting any of our critical units. The enemy Lord has at this point been killed by our own Lord, and our Lord will deal the final blow to the enemy Master here as well. With their leadership gone, it looks like the Dark Elves have decided that there is no hope of victory, and with that, the battle is ours as well. A nice fight. I've been enjoying fighting the Dark Elves, and like I said last episode, it is something that a Bretonnia campaign can't quite feel right without, as the Dark Elves are a constant menace to the Bretonnian coast. Alrighty, there we go. A very nice fight. Obviously, our knights did the lion's share of the work, I suppose. The enemy had brought a lot of cavalry, including range cavalry, though I do admit that the latter was doing a fair bit of damage to us. Those repeating crossbows on the Dark Riders can really, really hurt. I actually really love the unit myself, so good on the AI for actually using them and damaging our knights while doing so. The Bloodrack Medusa brought down by our singular Royal Hippogriff Knights, and our Lord helping them out and killing off both the enemy Lord and the hero as well. For the knights, we have at 24k by the looks of it, less kills than anybody else, but the most damage by far. It's ironically the Sons of the Hamster. And as for kill-wise, by the looks of it, we've got the Night Shift, who did the most work. The Beastlers of Baston stayed back to protect our catapults, or our trebuchets rather, and actually speaking thereof, the kitchen sink beats out the rest. 3.5k in reward, nice. And I assume we won't be able to reach the... Yeah, everybody's ransoming captives. We don't really care about the negative chivalry, though, because we have so many sources of chivalry, I believe that we'll be fine. Any chance you can reach the mask? You cannot. What about you? Any chance you could reach the mask? Actually, it wouldn't matter if you could. The frickin'... it's so irritating. Anyway, try to get as close to her as possible, we'll see. We'll see what she does next turn. Hopefully she can't reach Chilfoy here. Right? I don't know, because the AI has some obnoxious buffs that might allow it to actually travel further, so I guess we'll see. Get Road Marcher. Yeah, you have Among the Trees, so you can actually be, well, useful as a actual fighty lord, potentially. Where is Snitchy going? Actually healed at sea while he was at it. Anyway, I'm still kind of wary of these dwarfs attacking us, though we're a powerful enough faction that they might not be quite as willing to. The ogres are kind of in a similar position where they might potentially attack us. I'm almost tempted to say that we leave Malene here just for a little while, though I do think that she could help against the orcs down here. Though she'd probably be a pretty bad choice against the savage orcs just due to all the resistances, making the range units effectively useless.
I have seen your heart.
Do we risk traveling through these territories? Travel like this, which would save us some time. Oh, well, without trespassing, we'd have to go around. You know, go this way for now, and then we'll see. If we have to send you back somewhere, we will. But right now, I'm reasonably happy. Without, you know, getting into an additional war with these guys. Alright, so you're on the way. And wait, one second. I did level up the Green Knight last time, yes, okay. Diplomacy. Do we have any new trading partners? Monte Castello still really wants that trade. Oh, wow, Wargrove of Woe. That's funny. I'm willing to, at the very least, engage in trade with Draika. Plus, I love Draika, so, yeah.
Yes?
The only useful ally I've ever had. Karazakharek, there is still the potential defensive alliance with you. Once again, just have to check. Ironclan 9, this was how much money? 7.4k now. You know, if we get the tech that increases our relationship with them, you know what, fine. We will forego the extra XP for one turn, just one turn, and instead go for Kings of the Mountains diplomacy. Plus it gives us ammunition, which actually helps with the, well, I'm not entirely sure with auto-resolve, but it does help with the balance of power in certain battles. Also, we have 2 tech thieves that are unnamed, so we could probably stand to give them some names. Steel tech.
Destroy it.
If you don't die here, if you succeed, well, regardless if you succeed, I'm going to... Hey, success, well done. No rank 10, but still good. Block army, please. And then you can be Eleanor of... That's not gonna fit. Eleanor of Acquisition. And I'm pretty sure we had another Tech Thief that was just named Tech Thief, yeah. And you did move this turn, and you're also rank 9, get your wound. There may be agents running around, and we should be ready to destroy them. You can be Tech-less. Since we've allied with Tech-less. Fair enough. Good name for a high elf Tech Thief as well. Luan, you are fine where you are. Who's Leonie again? Oh, you're one of these two. The ones that were following Malene around. I mean, keep following, I guess. What else are you gonna do? Alright, that's you two. Fleur of the Braid is fine. Maeva the Guardian. I was going to move you southward, but now... Ooh, hello, wait, we have the Blessed Field Trebuchets up and running for Mr... Oh, he is still down for one turn. Can anybody... Okay, you, Leonard. Grab all of this. That's 8 for... Yes. We will grab you. What was I building the crossbows for? Oh, it was potentially for the caravan. You know what? Let's do this. If we are going to well, actually, it might be faster to just go directly to Arimo and then swap them into Chesso rather than going through the Brigand crossbows. We can maybe make an army and put some crossbows in there. Either way, I would like to deliver more heavily armored troops down south, so we will take the turn to build spears and men-at-arms with polearms, like so, giving 6 peasant units to Godric and Felix to move there. Then... I did want to build a seagoing army, though I suppose it also makes sense to build it in Malok's Lair or something like that. I'll think about it, but we'll need Imperial cannons for that. Yeah, and maybe, well, some Slayer pirates would do, but we need to ally with the dwarves first. Maeva, then you are waiting for at least a couple of turns. And, oh! Wait a moment. Okay, we have 1 polearm and we have 1 spear. What about you? Wait. We have 2 spears and... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're short 1 polearm? Oh no, please. Please tell me somebody has a spare polearm that we can get rid of, because then we wouldn't have to recruit. Okay, not you. Well, actually... You know what? We'll do this. You can cancel this. We can deliver to Maeva 2 polearms, and oh, these are unshielded spears. Oh, I should have just deleted them. Alright, deliver you here. And
Your coming was foretold.
These are also unshielded spears. I did not realize. Shouldn't have bothered with those.
Taking my
Alright,
leave.
so at least we have 3 polearms, so we'll still have to build 1
I have seen
and
your heart.
2 spearmen with
What is
shields.
your
Oh, wait,
behest?
there's a spearmen with shields here that I didn't
The
notice.
lady protects
I
me.
do this. There's no purpose in using the spearmen without shields.
Fortune
They don't really
favors
have
you.
a viable niche, in my opinion. Because if you want an unshielded anti-large unit, you're just going to go with polearms because they're significantly better, and because they're all peasant units anyway, there isn't really much
My
difference in
path is
terms of
clear.
their cost. Alrighty, so we'll still need 1 spearman at arms with shields and 1 polearm, so I
Spellcaster.
jumped the gun in cancelling them. 1 spearman at arms, and we're already building 2 polearms. Hey, you know, let's build a couple more crossbows. Alrighty, good. Who else still needs to move? Oh, I need to move because unfortunately we're pretty much out of time. I wanted to end the turn just in case something interesting happened, but I fear that there's enough stuff to do. Huh. Couldn't reach these guys, eh? You know, don't travel up there as yet. We're still in attrition territory here. That's kind of annoying. And I don't think you could take on both Silostra and Ronnie, so you know what? Stay here for now. I'd like to see where they go after this turn, so just sit there for a bit. Rapunz, you do actually need to move. You're trying to hit Tobaro, which you should be able to do next turn. Don't march stance.
Forces cannot march.
And I will try to remember to give you a bunch of court jesters, because I don't think I did, but you'll need them so that you don't get seduced, because we have the seduction here. With 4 and minus 80%, you might be safe. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll find out. Theodoric de Brigand and the dukes, generally speaking, are fine.
Me.
You two can actually switch to money stances,
Spellcaster.
like so. And, Bowmen, you are waiting for your troops, but you're very close to being done. Because you have 3 Grail Knights, you don't actually really need much. You just need the other Beast Slayers. Almost tempted to move you just as you are, because you can fight, regardless. Also, why do we have you here? Favored by the lady. I was going to get a couple of Mo in this army, but I'm not sure that I want to wait for the buildings to be constructed. We could just give you Brigand crossbows and then upgrade them to either Arimo or Arimo Chasseur, because they'll help out in knocking out individual monsters. It is an anti-large specialized army after all. Or we could give you Wood Elf units in theory. Anyway, Bertrand and Jules. Oh, you're both Letard, and thus... I wish you didn't have different traits, because otherwise I would keep you together. What do we have? Tough? I feel like I had... Wait. Monster Hunter. Okay, you know what? I'll deal with them between the episodes, as in the heroes and their traits. Clovis, you really need to get to Riolis's army desperately. And oh right, we need another faceless here with the cunning trait. I think we actually haven't gotten one in a while, unfortunately. One of you is a monster hunter. And you are... Okay, we have 2 monster hunters, which could go into several armies, and we might want to keep them together. You're tough. Oh, so we got 2 toughies. Alright, let's keep the 2 toughies together for whichever army uses these guys in melee a lot. That makes sense to me. Alrighty, anyway. I believe we are ready to end the turn, or at the very least I'm willing to forego looking for any other stuff. So we'll skip. Outpost upgrade... wait a moment. There was an outpost I wanted, technically, with Durthu, although funnily enough we now have... I mean, we should still build it. He might have access to stuff that the others don't, in theory. He does have 2 territories, and one of them is about to be tier 4, which is good. What about the Empire? We want access to all their troops. Yeah, you know what? I think since we have decided to spare a little bit of cash... Oh, but we need the military alliance with them, and I'm not so sure I want to go that far right now. Alright, I'm gonna hold off on it. Oh wow, we're actually starting to run out of entries. Anyway, we'll end this turn, though we are horrifically out of time. But whenever I'm having fun, that tends to happen. And I just want to see what happens this turn. I don't believe I left anything under siege, which is potential. Huh? How did you get Musterer? He wasn't recruiting anything, was he? Techless, military alliance. That would... Oh, wow, you are rapidly losing territories. You are an elf. You're not a wood elf, but I guess we could do the military alliance with you. The dwarfs will be, I was about to say angrier, but... Oh, well, Techless does have buffs for... Oh, I'm pretty sure he has buffs for relationships with at least men and maybe other factions. Maybe dwarfs are one of them. Go figure. Anyway, counter offer. Don't give us money. We'll do this for access to additional units because currently we only have the Oceanids. And what is this? I was not expecting you guys to go to Bilbali. I was expecting you guys to go around. Funnily enough, this is a walled settlement. Though if they attack here with no towers to help out, could be trouble. Alright, you know what? We are technically out of time. I might actually fight this. You know, I will think about it. It's something I might fight at the start of next episode, because I think we can destroy at the very least the enemy infantry. I don't doubt it. The heroes are going to be the real problem. But depending on which of them are on foot, so you're not on foot, you're not on foot. Huh. You, however, have a manticore. Actually, that's going to be the biggest problem. And the Death Hag as well. But anyway, I actually think that there's a decent likelihood that we'll fight this and just see these guys off, and then not have to run after them and chase after them in the way that we've been doing after the mask. But we'll have to do it at the start of next episode, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. As the campaign grows old, the engagement will determine how long the campaign continues to run for, so all glory to the algorithm. Don't forget to vote for High Elves, and thanks for watching.